Map 1 was a close one here in the road to Rio, and map 2 will hopefully be the same. We've got Inferno on our hands, the map pick of Hard Legion as they look to bounce back in this series. My name is Hawker, joined by Dean, and we're getting into the pistol. Yakindar's having a little look down mid, but he is going to be dealt with. Good start to the round for Hard Legion.
Yeah, immediately dealt with. There was a bit of a nade stack coming in from Prosto as well. They'd bought up too, but thrown them in towards the tree on Banana, unfortunately, is not where Hard Legion had positioned any players. Instead, Kinky up close right now, which may not be expected. Waylander now does spot him, and with that, realizing that he can't really afford to stick around in this aggressive position anymore, being alone towards the side of the map. So with that, even actually pulling the rotations off of the A-bomb side. Not only one, but they've gone for a 3-man B stack now. Of course, meaning Demasik is going to be left all alone here towards the pit now to try and hold this one down. Molotov comes in, forced into a bit of a more open position. They are all going around towards long. Are they going to try and split B? This is perfect. This is what Prosto want.
Ooh, they're sticking to the B stack as well. Waylander can hear these steps. He is very, very ready for this one. Waylander pulling the trigger first, but he's dealt with quickly by Forrester, and now World Edit and Nickelback have got to line this up between them. World Edit with 2 fast frags, but Nickelback from the back of the bomb site might go uncleared. Pulls the trigger onto both opponents, and the flank from Demasik is well timed. Beautifully done by Prosto. They stick to their guns on the B stack, and they get the round win off the back of it.
Indeed, honestly, I thought they had the A-bomb site pretty much once that Molotov went down and they were able to force Demasik out into the open. I was like, okay, they'll split probably through long and short here. It looked like initially they'll be able to catch him, get the bomb planted, and the round's over. But no, the split comes in. And despite Waylander not being able to find anything, it was a massive hold from, I can't recall exactly who was towards construction, but then also, of course, Nickelback in towards the back of quad. Huge round. Prosto, after taking the first map for themselves, also able to get off to a good start here on the CT side of Inferno. As we said, this being the map house of Hard Legion. Right now looking to try and challenge it towards Banana. Yakindar actually charged straight down with the MP9, done a good bit of damage. That nade follows up on Crad. So weakening up a couple of these players at least before their commitment can really come in. Smoke towards the CT, but then they've now also been smoked off, so I think that might stop them from being able to commit for the moment. And obviously with everyone on Banana, they don't really know what's going on the rest of the map. In theory, the CTs could have got aggressive. They could have control in the in towards the T apartments or on second mid or whatever, so they're going to have to be careful as they move back now.
And unfortunately, they only have 1 smoke left. They used 2 of their smokes on the B bomb site there, but they got countered by 1 from the CT side. And now it's only Rage with a smoke in his back pocket, while the rest of the team have just got their weapons in their hands. Crad with this MP9 looking for a close range fight in the apartments, and Waylander might offer that up to him. He's sitting in the apps in a more passive position though, so he's not going to be cleared initially. And with 42 seconds left, Hard Legion begin to group up towards this A bomb site. I think Prosto have realized it's unlikely Hard Legion are going to push A long, so they're focused on this short side, and already Waylander gets the first frag. Demasik gets one of his own, the rifle doing work from pit, and that nade has done massive damage onto Rage. The bomb's just been recovered, but with 22 seconds left on the clock, it's not looking likely it's going to be planted here. Waylander has got 2 softened up players. Rage gets onto the bomb site, but he's not going to get away with the free plant. Demasik rushes him, and Prosto have a pretty good second round win there.
Yeah, only 1 going down. I think they can be quite happy with how that one went for themselves, especially knowing that it was the investment, of course, from Hard Legion. Only Rage has enough to buy here in this round if they were to go for it, so that's obviously not going to happen. At most, maybe a few pistols being upgraded, Kevlar, perhaps, but even then, that's not really too plausible at this point. Ideally wanting everything that they can coming into this opening gun round. But a chance for some damage to be done. 3 MP9s still in play for Prosto. So ideally, they don't want to really be feeding the economy over to those SMGs either. So that is one thing. Taking things a little bit slower, although, as I said, I do notice Nickelback again was deciding to peek down Banana with Yakindar. And Nade not going to be doing any damage, as we already seen the player actually crossover. But yeah, I mean, early Banana control being found. You can see with that, of course, they have the ability to rotate one back over to A, which I'm surprised they haven't begun to actually do yet, because there is quite a lot of contact being found. Well, that up close and long is good. One just really stuck around to challenge this as well. But with the MP9, it's an easy time.
It really is. He was making mincemeat of them there. Just spraying to the chest. Again, I always say the high fire rate of the MP9 is why it's so valuable. Just getting those quick kills against unarmored opponents especially. At long range, it's not quite as good, as you can see with World Edit taking some damage from the Glock. That Sviat isn't really going to be doing anything here. Oh, well done. It almost dealt with, but it is a quad kill for the AWPer of Prosto. Always nice for your AWPer to get some SMG kills, to get some more money in his back pocket. And speaking of AWPs, Rage has instantly bought one over on the Hard Legion side, and well done, it also picks up a sniper for the CT side of things. So we could see some early AWP battles here in round 4.
Yeah, I mean, quite likely. That's what we want. It's I'm kind of surprised we've seen the up being pulled out so early here on the T side, but it made sense considering they wanted to actually save so much during that previous round. But they come in now, they get the up into play. Rage, he had a pretty good performance with it back on the T side, and Nuke, which can also be a tough map to get going. So I don't think that's going to be too big of a deal for him overall, though it does usually keep the T side in a little bit of a slower play style, trying to see if that op can work the picks across the map. And as you said, we might see them actually challenging each other quite soon as they're both over on this B side of the map. World Edit just posted up. Rage very slowly shifting forward. Was expecting the CTs to maybe still be aggressing around the corner. So for now, I think Hard Legion kind of happy with just being able to find this top of banana control, not really challenging in towards the bomb site itself. And that's probably for the best because it is a 3-man stack right now going on. But as they do look to try and commit as well, this could be a bit of an issue. Molotov put down. I thought they were going for the boost. Apparently decided to cancel it. And now they're going to be able to actually cross over to this bomb site easily. Yekenar has so much pressure to hold this down, but he does have the help as well. Nickelback gets one with that MP9. Eventually, Yekenar falls. Been able to find one alongside his teammate, at least give him the man advantage. No longer is that the case, though. World Edit trying to see if he can catch someone around the edge of the smoke. The bomb going to go down towards Oranges, trying to spam it. Not quite hitting the first shot, but does do damage afterwards. But now he's left alone.
Oh, it was looking pretty good for Prosto at the start of this one. When they got that kill onto the player pushing the site, they dropped the bomb. Hard Legion couldn't really push behind it because that smoke left them in a pretty awkward position. But eventually they get through the smoke onto the bomb site. And Prosto can't defend B well enough. World Edit's going to have to save this up. And Hard Legion are on the board early. I do wonder whether Prosto have done their homework here, though, because right at the start of this round, they stacked 4 players on the B side of the map. I think they wanted to go for the banana control, but the mollies that Hard Legion put in place meant that they couldn't really fight for banana. But throughout this round, Prosto were much more focused on trying to defend the B side of the map. They ended up having that 3rd man rotate over to B, and yet sadly, they couldn't connect the kills that they needed to, even though they had the players on the right side of the map. And this is a very early pause call by Prosto here. Only 4 rounds in. They should be buying into this round, but they've taken a tactical timeout ahead of it.
I like it. I think it's a pretty good idea considering they know and considering they are coming into this round knowing that if they were to lose it, their economy at that point would be completely shattered, and it would give Hard Legion a very strong opportunity to actually get off to a good T-start themselves. So they know that this round is quite important. Having the chat, the op obviously still in play for World Edit. It's about buying up on everyone else, and I don't know, maybe they could have considered a double op setup themselves if they wanted. Still could, but I don't think it's really going to be happening. Nickelback is yet to buy, though. He's here. There we go. Eventually just pulls out the M4. The nade's kind of a necessity here as well on the CT side of Inferno. I wouldn't mind more kits. At least one more.
I mean, if you, in theory, if you keep track of that one kit, you're kind of okay, but it's just very difficult to do that in the heat of the moment. Especially if, well, then it dies off at some point. Yeah, it's just...
And if you are retaking, you might be coming in from 2 different positions.
Yeah.
Say you have someone flanking up banana, you're trying to retake B, you have a couple coming in from the CT spawn, the banana player goes down with the kit. That's not retrievable anymore. Might not be a big deal, though. Oh, Yekendar's been forced forward on his own at the moment because of that Molotov. If they move quickly, he's going to be isolated.
Okay, very quick headshot from Yakindar, even though he's solo fighting on banana. That Molotov should give him a bit of breathing room, but Krad's pushed into top mid. Hard Legion taking contact across the map, but with Krad finding that kill, Hard Legion are going to see if they can maybe make the most of his position. The rest of the team moving into top mid. Currently, A-Long is being covered by World Edit, but not too aggressively, and that flashbang blinds Demasic, but he doesn't pull the trigger. World Edit should be tested here. Smoke about to come down into Library. World Edit on the only angle available, but he lands the first shot. Looking back for more, but he's not ready for Rage. Demasic, though, in the unexpected position on short, also catches one of the Hard Legion players out. And now Rage has got a tough task on his hands. A 1v3 with the AWP is not looking doable here. He doesn't know where the first man is. The no-scope is not going to connect. and Prosto locked down the A-bomb site. So the lack of kits doesn't cost them in the end as they hold the site down. And now it's Hard Legion who have some slight difficulties in their money here. It's a little bit awkward for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a position where they're going to force buy, though, just as you can see, going for the pistols and Kevlar, because they are on the T side. Sure, they're down 4-1, but that's not out of control right yet. You probably will give over a 5th round here, but if they can get a few kills of it, if they can keep the economy modest, then there's always the opportunity for them to come out with a similar feat of what we've seen back on Nuke, that despite having the poor start, still able to pull back a few T rounds, or quite a few anyway, to make it a decent result. Obviously, in the end, it wasn't enough for Hard Legion to get themselves the win, but definitely something they are capable of. Right now, just grouping up towards the apartments. It's definitely just going to be kind of the standard play here with these pistols that you see a lot of teams go for. Smokes down, whether they're towards the bomb site or up closer to the piss, so that they can jump out, try and push their way on towards the bomb site with these weaker weapons and close in the distance. And with this short setup, the CTs could be in a little bit of trouble.
Demasik is committed, but they haven't cleared his position quickly enough. Waylander and Demasik both combining, and even though Forrester's picked up the trade, it's too little too late. WorldEdit's got the angle on the edge of the smoke, so well done by Prosto there, just to really lock it down on that A site, because like you were saying, if they lose one of the early fights there, if it's Hard Legion that get the first kill with the pistols, that's where you really feel like it can fall apart. But because it was the early kills for Prosto, the crossfires hold true, and they managed to lock down the A-bomb site. Here comes the buy, though, for Hard Legion. Again, the AWP into the hands of Rage. They're very much focused on getting the AWP into his hands, and we've already seen him land some shots as Prosto go back to this 4-man B stack to start this round.
As you said, it seems like they do have a little bit of a read, knowing maybe that Hard Legion like to favor over towards Banana for that early control, which in general most teams do, so it's understandable. It is just a very important area of the map to control. Just having 4 players here is a little bit more than you normally see, because obviously now that leaves Waylander in a very awkward spot where he's left completely alone towards A. So they must have done some sort of preparation, realizing that very, very few rounds the Hard Legion aggress early towards the A-bomb site. And I'm not saying this myself because I've done that research. I'm just saying that would be the only reason I could imagine Prosto would be willing to put more people towards the Hard Legion, in more than one round especially. As they rotated them back, though, you see one man remaining aggressive, being Yekin there. This time he's not going to be able to find anything as he's forward on his own. Instead goes down, Nickelback left alone towards B. Was beginning to even rotate away a little bit, now making some steps in so that it sounded like someone had just rotated on towards site. I don't think they were really heard, though. Ooh. I like this gamble. I like it. I mean, with their money that's available, if they lose the bomb site, they could just save. Although with the aggression having come through mid, now they realize obviously that it's not going to be A, so they are given time to go ahead and get into position again on B with more than one player.
If only they had a few more nades to slow this down, then the flank could come in. But the flash is very good. Nickelback only gets 1 kill on the spray down, but Waylander is in on this flank. He's pulled the trigger already, and Spiat's watching for it. Demasik drops the bomb, and it's up to Rage in a 1 versus 2. He's not got the AWP in his hands any longer. He switched to the AK for the clutch attempt, but Demasik gets aggressive, and Prosto get all the information they needed in that round. I think Waylander, when he pushed the apartments, he might have just heard some of those steps running back down mid, and as soon as he pushes into the mid position, Prosto just have so much information there. The players on the site basically just try and take some fights, just try and slow Hard Legion somewhat, and then the flank was just devastating for Hard Legion at the end there.
Yeah, Nickelback probably could have taken his time a little bit more when they were all blinded there, went for a very, very wild spray. But importantly, at least delayed them, as well as getting that 1 frag to allow, as you said, for that flank to come in, which ended up being so important to them. Not only for the kills, but also that initial info that let them go back into position to hold down the B-bomb site. Yakin there, though, is ballsy right down Banana. Waylander's already gotten 1 kill, so they do have an advantage. Wasn't really a necessary play at that point anymore. Maybe he could have just dropped the smoke and tried to keep the control. Eventually goes down and is now given an M4 over the Hard Legion. Shouldn't really impact the actual outcome of the round, with all 3 players barely hanging on to life at this point, though. I mean, if Hard Legion were able to even get 1 more kill here, if they somehow got a bomb plant, that would be really nice, but not looking very likely. Kinky with the deagle, though. Oh, almost had that angle lined up on construction. But the timing, just as he went back off, was when Demasik popped out, and at the same moment, Rage peeked in, thinking he'd be all right to peek out. Presuming at that point there was no one peeking from CT.
This shot from WorldEdit at least allows Hard Legion to get out into top mid. Waylander is also having to watch both these angles, and depending on the timing, it could be costly for him, but he's got the timing right on both of the fights. Nicely done by Waylander there, just to make sure that the round is closed out comfortably. And Prosto, in general, just looking very comfortable right now with a 7-1 lead. Hard Legion finally take their first pause. They finally take their first tactical timeout. Again, Rage is consistently going for this AWP. We haven't seen too much of it so far on this T side, though. He's only got 2 kills on the board. Then again, most of Hard Legion are struggling to get kills on the board, so it's not like we can specifically call him out, but it's just that we don't too often see players always picking up this AWP on the T side, and Rage so far hasn't had the best of times with it.
Yeah, he's 2-7 at the moment, and it's not surprising to see an upper sitting at that scoreline on an Inferno, especially if they do want to be pulling the up out. It's such an expensive weapon, and it's so difficult to use her on the T side of Inferno that a lot of teams don't bother with it. Because the nades immediately block you off early in the round a lot of the time from being able to find those opening picks, especially if the CTs aren't challenging, which right now, World Edit is, to be fair, so Rage might get himself an opportunity. Maybe I've gone ahead and cursed the round a little bit. We will have to wait and see. For the moment, no kills coming in. Damage-wise, nothing really too substantial. Yekin there jumps down towards the Molotov to get a little bit of an earlier push in towards Banana than he would have otherwise. But up close right now, Sviat waiting in towards the tree. The nade destroys him. The flash comes over. Kinky's blinded. Trades to the AK, though. And actually falls to Rage. It wasn't even the player on tree who was able to get the shots off. Sviat was kind of just chilling as the smoke was going away. A 4-on-4, not the worst spot for Hard Legion to be in. They've taken a bit of damage, obviously, onto Sviat, but they've gotten themselves the banana control, at least, and really limited the information that Pro still have.
And well, it's having to play back on the bomb site. This is a position which can sometimes be uncomfortable with the AWP. You have to watch both angles. Wow, Forrester gets the kill while blind. The flash into the aggression isn't successful. And now it's completely alone with the AWP versus 4 terrorists pushing up through short. He's not going to like his chances here with the AWP, and he is run down on the bomb site. Well done by Hard Legion to find the weakness here on the A bomb site. And once they turn it into that 4v4, they just wait for that aggression. Forrester, once he gets that kill into the apps, I think basically wins them the round. And Hard Legion finally getting a second round win here.
Yeah, not too late either. There's still chances for them to claw this back into a pretty decent T side. Most of the money here for the CT side is going to be spent in this next round. If they miss like a Nickelback save, which they likely will, we're not going to see anyone from Hard Legion hunting with the money they have available, then they will be able to keep a little bit. So we'll have to see exactly what they have left over afterwards. But it's not going to be too fantastic. So Hard Legion have put a pretty solid dent in the economy here at Prosto. Meaning if they can get another round off the back of this one, then there's a good opportunity for them to bring it up to 4 most likely. And with that, obviously, maybe even bring back a little bit more. Ideally, you do want to be coming out with 6 or so rounds on the T side of Inferno. It's not the heaviest CT-sided map ever. But yeah, indeed, after that reinvestment, a small bit of money left over, but not quite enough for a buy on towards the side of Prosto, unless they were to scrape it together on just a few players in the next round. So this one's quite important for them, but also still very important for Hard Legion, because they've gone ahead and called this tactical pause.
Just trying to make sure they can make sure that they win some more rounds, I guess is the way to put it. Keep this momentum going on the T side. It almost feels like Prosto's default right now on their CT side is having at least 3 players on Banana. In the majority of the rounds, they've had more players on B to start things than not. And I think Hard Legion finally figured that out in that one, where they went for the A play. There were only 2 CTs there. They were able to trade it out pretty easily. It obviously helps when you get the opening kill on Banana, because then it's much more difficult for Prosto to rotate another man back to A. But here we go. This is more of a standard default from Prosto. 3 players on the A side of the map, 2 players on Banana. Wildedit's AWP is not going to go aggressive this time round. He's playing on the short side. In fact, he's moving into Boiler. Bit of a risk, but he's looking for the peek into second mid. And this would be a tough shot to land on the jumping player, but he's not given the option.
Stop at the moment, but there was already damage done to Yekin there, I think. So I don't know. Yeah, console said damage is done. The admin said damage is done, so I don't think the stop's going to be called for. Prosto have now agreed with the stop, though. So, but now they're boosting up in the back of the bomb site. So yeah, I believe this is playing on. Waylander has gone down. Did he know what was happening? I think they're going to be a little confused now about what's going on in this round. It was Yekindar actually who timed out. So even with that casualty, it's only the 4-on-4 Crad. What the hell? Straight out in the pit, peeks in towards short, lines up the headshots, and this round is done. That was a whole strange event. The damage that was done. You seen a couple players on B immediately thinking it was over. It was Nickelback who was typing DOS stop as well because the boys were asking for it, but yeah, the nade damage had been done already on towards Yakindar in the beginning of the round.
I think this is a perfect example of the old phrase we have in England, which is you play till the whistle. You play until the stop has actually come through. You just focus on making sure that the round is continuing to go your way, and then you figure it out afterwards. Because maybe if you do win the round and you say, oh, okay, they had one timed out, then maybe you can say, yeah, let's reset. But they didn't look too ready. They didn't really look too focused fully on what was happening there. And Crad just pushed out through the apartments. And now we've got to figure out this whole mess as to whether this round counts for Hard Legion or not. I think it will, right? Because the damage was done, like you were saying.
I would imagine so, but what I thought was weird was that Prosto went to call the stop as well, with them probably thinking that's only a small bit of damage. But at that point, obviously they're going to agree with it because they're like, oh, we can get a fresh start on this round.
Yeah.
But the admin had said damage is done, so like continue on. So I don't think so. Console said that you still need a pause. They said no because they do have their 5th back. So yeah, that round does count. It's not like Prosto stopped playing. It was just for a moment you seen the 2 players on B kind of stop and then eventually go back to what they were doing. That didn't affect them. I'm really not sure what happened to Waylander because I wasn't watching him, so I can't really comment on that.
He started taking a fight and then pulled a smoke out awkwardly. Like it looked like he might have accidentally hit his smoke button. So I don't think that was anything to do with.
That was probably a whole different thing. Yeah.
It just kind of looked like I don't know, it just looked like they weren't 100% prepared for the fights almost. It was a weird way that the round played out on the Prosto side, but hey, it's a round for Hard Legion. They won't be complaining, and Forrester's got them into this round as well. Nice pick at top mid, gives them the early man advantage, and whenever you go down to 4 on the CT side of Inferno, it's difficult to feel comfortable. You can see in this round right now, A-Long is currently pretty much open. Wild Edit could easily be traded out here on short. And we'll see what Prosto can get done. Wild Edit, nice kill from the top of this porch position, and he gets back safely. Nicely done by Wild Edit to equalize the numbers.
Yeah, that nade not really doing too much. Small bit onto Crad. Obviously does help out when you have these M4s in play. Oh, that smoke taking a little while to bloom right there, so a small bit of damage being done. But right now the long control coming in. The bomb was actually back towards second mid, so it's only now being retrieved. And this is going to be tough because they are walking towards a little bit of a stack at this point. Even if they bring it through the arch, you can see Yakin there up close on the left. With both of these players slightly tagged, there's a chance for him to put up a pretty solid defense. Only manages 1 before actually going down, but he also brought Crad to 21 health. So it definitely keeps them in an okay spot, especially if this B player is able to put up with at least 1 or 2 kills, or even just stay alive at this point. If he can be a nuisance, slow them down as much as possible, but no, immediately drop. They take the time to clear construction together, and now Crad posted up on Banana waiting for this rotation to come in. The flash goes down, so he is actually brought off the angle, and the bomb was being planted for Bananas, and there's 7 seconds left. The one-on-one World Edit, he didn't even really have to be, but he just swung in for the trade, just to ensure that there was no way Sviak could retrieve that bomb. An 8th round for Prosto, and that was looking like it should have been Hard Legions. They traded out successfully on towards B, but the bomb plant position not really safe enough. Surprising they put it there, considering they didn't have Banana control. They could have put it in behind the fountain in a safe spot where then the upper back in the CT spawn could have played for it.
Yeah, definitely. At that point, you have the control of the other positions. Basically, everything except Banana is safe. So I guess it's just going back to just players sometimes just planting on that default spot when they're not really sure, but here comes Sviat through the smoke. Flashbang from Rage gets the assist on the kill. Hard Legion taking away the early Banana control. And again, Prosto forced into an early rotation. They were able to overcome the 4v5 in the previous round, though, so it's not the worst thing in the world for them. And we'll see if they can do the same here again as well, then it rotates to the B-bomb site.
Going right in, World that actually does spot out the first player and spamming away afterwards, despite the smoke being down, does so much damage. It's Yakindar who ends up taking 2 kills for himself, and for the moment, I believe a Molotov down. Yeah, indeed, actually holding the rest of the players away. So for now, Hard Legion aren't really able to follow that one up. They've given up on their dreams there of committing towards B, and have brought it back over towards middle, where I don't think they're really going to be making the commitment quite yet either. With Forest, they're so low, it's only really Rage who can have the impact right now. And I think Demasik may even have this flank. Here's the steps definitely in Apartments. Is given that info over to Waylander, who only has an MP9. So if Rage goes out quickly, maybe he could catch that kill. Unfortunately, already being dinked down. Probably not going to happen. And the flank of Demasik wasn't even needed.
Yeah, the information was still valuable, but he didn't get the kill for it. It was his teammate, which was nice. And now Forrester is just looking to land some shots on 10 points of health. Even saving isn't exactly, well, ideal, but he might just have to do it here. Shot close range from Forrester. Not going to get the second one, though. Waylander cuts him off. Prosto up to a 9-3 lead. And again, they go down early, but I think that B hit from Hard Legion was just slightly off with the timings there, because you saw Yakindar get both those kills, and then a second after he gets those frags, that's when the flashbang comes in and blinds him. So Counter-Strike sometimes can come down to those slim margins, those fine margins in the timings, and just that flash being a little later than the entry players expected means that Yakindar can just lock it down with the double spray down, and the rest of Hard Legion couldn't commit with that Molotov up. So just like that, Prosto managed to turn the round into their favor, and with a 9-3 lead here, this is looking very, very good now for Prosto.
I still don't want to count Hard Legion out of this one, though. If they can bring back 2 more rounds here on the T side, I think that they, at that point, will still have a fairly salvageable position, especially if they get the pistol on the second half. Normally, the issue then with being down 10-5 or even 9-6 a lot of the time is if you lose the pistol as you go over, then it can be pretty difficult to actually stabilize if you don't have the economy going from the back of off the back then of winning the first gun round at least. And even then, of course, you'd have a pretty long road ahead of yourself. Ooh. The banana aggression coming in, Hard Legion weren't really challenging it. Instead, just holding a nade. Once Yakindar gets down the bottom, it lands right at his feet and drops him to 11 health. So that's a pretty good advantage in terms of the HP in the beginning of this round. Surprisingly, keeping one player aggressive around the wall as well as one back on construction. I would imagine just holding a flash. Yeah, that's the case here for Yakindar, getting ready in case they do come back. Kind of weird though, because normally if you get that one player up, you just go ahead and rotate back around, and they are only now beginning to do that. Putting that 4th player towards the A-bomb site. Still a good bit of time here, so the commitment doesn't necessarily have to come in. But as we can see, it is at least going to be that mid-control being found right now for Hard Legion, opening up a lot more opportunities for them throughout this round, especially since they've lost Banana.
Oh, that flashbang just forces Nickelback away, so they actually get Banana control back. Smoke cuts off the vision of Forrester. 42 seconds left on the clock, and it's also worth mentioning that Prosto's money left behind is very low here, so if they were to lose this round, Hard Legion could very well come away with 5 or 6 rounds at the half just from resetting the CT economy. So this is a big round for Hard Legion in terms of importance. If they win this, they can salvage a decent T side here, and we'll see if that's possible with 20 seconds left on the clock. They're committing into this A-bomb site. Waylander, the first man on the hold, mows them down. 2 kills in quick succession. Sviat goes darting through the smoke, straight into the waiting arms of Demasik. And now Rage is having to look for a close-range fight with the AWP, which is not what he was hoping to have to do in this round. Forrester stuck saving. Hard Legion have to concede another round. And now this is where it starts to get scary for Hard Legion.
Save the Foresters.
Oh, nice. I got it.
Nah, that's a heartbreaking one. That was a nice little double spray down by Waylander, and then immediately dropping the Molotov in the apartments just made it impossible for that player who was still in the apartments to try and follow up and help out the rest of his teammates on shore too. Of course, at that point, they'd already had most of their push dismantled by that double spray down I had previously mentioned. So, yeah, no, very tough round. Hard Legion, despite having some pretty decent openings into these rounds, whether it was the kill in the round before that one or in that previous round, or the amount of damage that they were able to do to Yak in there right in the beginning. It seems like once they start pushing towards the bomb sites, the CTs just have those crossfires and such locked down. And we see obviously now in this round the buy is not perfect at all from Hard Legion, pulling out what they can with the full loss bonus. They still have plenty to buy in the next round, but I mean, considering they've been struggling with the full investments, you have to be a little bit worried. But look at this, Prosto come back to 4 players again over towards Banana in the beginning.
Couple of mollies and some nades, but Sviat's beaten them all with the AK. He's looking for this first fight, and he gets it. Yakindar going down early. So even with the 4-man B stack, Sviat is looking to try and test the waters, and unfortunately he's found the AWP of World Edit, who was waiting patiently for him. Now Hard Legion are going to want to get that AK back, but Krad has snuck out through the apartments. Waylander, again, alone on this A side of the map, and the kills keep on coming for Hard Legion. The pistols doing work in this round after the initial entry from the AK of Sviat. And Kinky's already onto the B bomb site. They're still spread across the map, but they're just winning every single fight in this round. And Nickelback, well, he may be able to do something sitting in this smoke. The bomb plant should be denied, but there's the trade from Kinky, and there's the round from Hard Legion.
That works. Yeah, I mean, that's the risk of the 4-man B stack in the beginning. It kind of worked out quite well for them after they lost that initial player. You seen the AK was kind of spamming away on that angle from the op was posted up on also. So then you seen the peak come back in. They had no idea there was going to be an op there. It gave them the one quick trade. But then they knew there was at least 2 more players there. So they're like, okay, at most 2 players over towards A. They had 1 player already creeped up in the apartments. That gives him a little bit of room to think, okay, I can perhaps try and get the time in here. Maybe no one's watching apartments. And that was exactly what was going on. He was able to catch that player on short and just give them the A bomb site for free. 10-4. I mean, if they pull it back to 5 rounds, as I said, that is still a pretty salvageable position for Hard Legion, especially if they come out with a second pistol. But they do kind of still need this one. I mean, there's obviously the small chance for the Prosto boys to get 11, despite their buy being a little weaker. It wasn't a bad kickoff by any means there from Waylander up in the apartments. Yakin there, though, also trying to face Banana with just the UMP. I believe is just hiding in the smoke for the moment. I guess hoping he can catch someone once it fades away. Actually gets flashed in. I think Kinky's now going to expect this aggression because of it, and indeed ready for the headshot.
It's up to the rifles then for Prosto. The SMGs have done what they could. It's a 3v4 to play from. Nice nade landing onto Rage. And the T side nade is avoided by Wild Edit, who again has fallen back to A long. 2 Prosto players on this A bomb site, so their hold is looking reasonably good, but Wild Edit's fallen back to CT. That could make the A long hold a bit more difficult for him. You'd expect some smokes to come in here. Already 1 smoke landing on A long. Wild Edit is playing it safe, so he's letting them push A long right now. He might try and backstab. He might try and get the timing right for the flank, but Demasik on the bomb site could very easily be isolated here. 23 seconds, and Hard Legion are going to pull the trigger, but it's Wild Edit who might be the first man to make the play. He's not looking the right way, though. Forrester's already snuck by, and now Demasik has the weight of the round on his shoulders. 10 seconds. He's trying to lock this down. Bomb dropped. Demasik looking for more, but he gets run over. 5 seconds. They have got time for the plant just in time, and that means that Nickelback has got the impossible task ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, if he had the kit, if he had a little bit more utility, then at that point you'd be like, okay, maybe it is achievable. Perhaps he can use it to try and actually cut some players off. And I mean, 1 smoke in already, he was able to retrieve another as well, so it is giving him room to actually peek out. The issue is still being spammed through because, of course, smoke isn't a wall. So the bullets do still emerge, and yeah, with the damage being combined on there by a couple players, we do indeed see them managing to retrieve it back up to 5 at the half-time. So a good recovery from Hard Legion. The question is it going to be enough for them? As I said, I think this pistol round now is going to be so crucial. But as always, guys, we will have a few minutes here at the half-time before we get back into it, so do stick around because we'll be back soon from the break.
Brother, I was born like a fire in the eye of a hurricane. Always told, stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again, dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Strong showing from Prosto in the first half of Inferno, and they'll look to carry that over into their T side, where they've picked up 2 sets of utility for this pistol round. As for Hard Legion, they've got the kit and the flashbangs, and they've got some aggression with Rage. Looking a little saucy here. Oh no, the quick switch could cost him his life. He's looking for the fight. It's so awkward, but he gets away with the kill, and he will get the hell out of there.
Damn, that's massive, because Prosto clearly had a plan in mind with their utility. They were setting themselves up around to get the second mid control. Sure, they do still find it, but obviously now the information at least being obtained by Hard Legion, as well as that man advantage, which makes them feel a little more comfortable at least to play that more passive setup. Oh, excuse me, but Forrester was beginning to rotate right there, so that worried me slightly. They've now peeked in towards the apartments with the flash and not noticed these players because they were back a little bit more passively, so they're not going to have any idea that they're up so close already. Rage could be in trouble, yeah, instantly domed by the Glock. There is the rotation quickly from long, but Wayland, they're also trying to flank in. Unfortunately, checking Arch just as they pop out. Forrester and Crad combining now to go ahead and pull this back in favor of Hard Legion, as the bomb should at least be planted. That's a small positive for Prosto. And that's some good damage as well on Forrester. So this is certainly still achievable. They do have a flash as well. If that can be placed well, then perhaps they have an opportunity to try and peek in together, snatch a couple of free kills.
Oh, Yakindar just taking fights with the USP, which isn't a bad idea, and considering the circumstances, he's got away with a kill there. Flashbang lands, Yakindar with a second frag, looking for more, but he's just going to hide. He's just going to play the time. Time is ticking for the CTs here. They've got to move on to the bomb site, and Yakindar keeps on going. Finally traded out, but the kit is recovered. I think Sviat might just have it. He's got the defuse in time. Valiant effort, though, from Prosto. Yakindar took that so close, but they just about hold on the Hard Legion side.
Well, that one was just crazy back and forth, and yeah, it showed how important that opening kill was from Rage. The fact that it ends up coming down to such close trades back and forth, and in the end, nearly even the clutch. 10-6, that pistol round, which I mentioned was extremely important for Hard Legion to find, has gone in their favor. But with the bomb going down, this is the issue. There's 3 AKs now that they're going to be facing off against. 3 AKs, 2 Deagles, and quite a lot of nades. This is actually a fairly strong buy. Hard Legion, they themselves, knowing that, of course, the bomb went down, have gone for a relatively safe one. Well, only 1 SMG coming out, 4 M4s, but obviously that leaves them with some limited nades. And on the CT side of Inferno, those nades are also extremely important. So we'll have to see how this works out for them now up against those AKs, because we will see the T's looking to take the aim duel. Smoke out long, flash also in play. There's a player up close on the left, I believe. Yeah, but Yakinar's going to deal with that, giving Nickelback the chance to go ahead and get the short player. And he follows up towards Boiler. A is fallen, so have Hard Legion, and this round is done. Oh, Waylander might not even let him save.
Ooh, almost gets them both. Sviat finally gets the first kill of the round for Hard Legion. Unfortunately, it's come a little late into the round, because this one is already over, as you said. Sviat, oh, the AK's not got any ammo. He has to reload. Nade goes through, Molotov to follow. Sviat just looking to see if he can maybe save, maybe get any kills, but Prosto don't want to let that happen.
They're fighting for banana. You wouldn't even know the bomb was planted.
Yeah, it's a weird round, to say the least. Sviat Almost gets a third kill there, but finally Yakinda puts him to bed. And Prosto, with the second round forced by a win, could now just cruise out to a big lead here, with Hard Legion's money being pushed back so badly.
Yeah, I mean, that's how much they wanted that weapon, because as you said, they know now Hard Legion's economy is completely ruined. But that was really strange. They got the bomb down, everyone left the bomb site, and they were pretty much trying to take the banana control like it was just the beginning of a round. Yeah, I mean, a couple of casualties being taken, but they're not really too worried about that now, because they know Hard Legion, even if they do force into this round, which they have, it is only going to be pistols and Kevlar and a few nades. Oh, stop is being called for again this time. Okay, they've now said never mind. They called stop and abort, then said never mind. Nickelback has said K. So yeah, they're still going. No issues this time. I'm not sure what the pause was about, but whatever it was must have been quickly resolved. Maybe a quick TeamSpeak issue or something.
Luckily, we are good to go in round 18, and Waylander is currently investigating the B-bomb site, trying to see if he can sniff out any clues as to where the CTs are positioned, and he's found one at CT spawn. Crad was the man who I think didn't buy much in this round, so not a massive loss, but the rest of the pistols are going to have to do the dirty work in this round, and even though Prosto have got the banana control, they're not committing to the B-bomb site. The bomb's going back to A, where there's only one man holding right now, although the rotate's coming.
A chance. As you said, Sviat has already made his way over, but unfortunately losing Rage now back towards Library. The smoke's in place as well, so the pistol may have to try and push through and see what it can find to help out his teammates on the bomb site, who are only successful for one. Yakindar then was also left to hold off that rotation back into the arch, so he goes ahead and closes out the round for them 12-6. Prosto now sitting with double the score of their opponents, who are going to be forced onto an eco, so they'll be increasing that lead just a little bit further before we see the actual guns coming back into play for the CTs. And of course, Prosto, after taking Nuke for themselves as well, in a prime position right now to go ahead and close this out 2-0. Looking like they might even be able to take their opponent's map choice more convincingly than their own.
Yeah, it's looking pretty likely right now, considering the position they've put themselves in this game. Wilder, it's just taking a 5-7 into this round. I think he will be the man investigating top mid. Flashbang from Sviat might get them something, but Wilder, it's the only player close by, so it's unlikely to be a rifle that they take down. It's unlikely to be a rifle they recover. And when does Sviat decide to pull the trigger on this flash? She's being very patient with it, but finally it's about to be deployed, and Wilder won't be blinded by this. Oh wow, he's letting the first man by. 2 kills in quick succession. Wilder, it almost makes it a third. The bomb's been left at T-spawn, which makes life a little awkward for Prosto, but considering it's just USPs they're up against, it's no big deal. They should be taking this round with ease as they now start to move that bomb to the B site.
Yeah, this one going pretty much as expected. 2 flashes still in play for the CT side. Maybe they could set up for a couple exits with them. They're going to be saving just for the sake of 2 flashes, although with their economy being as weak as it is, they certainly would have helped out in this next round. So yeah, I think Sviat is probably just going to chill over an A. I mean, not only does he save the flash, not the USP. I was thinking that obviously chat are going to start spamming save USP at this point. That's always what happens. But he's also avoiding giving that extra $300 over to whoever gets the kill on him, which at this point probably isn't that big of a deal, but he has 0 chance of winning, let's be real. So he's not going to gain anything from going for it unless he somehow actually managed to steal away an AK. So the flash in the next round will help him out with utility a small bit on what will be a limited buy, and he's going to have 4,100 with the loss bonus coming in. And this buy, as I think out with that, is not going to be perfect for Hard Legion. It's going to be lacking quite a bit. And this could be one of their last gun rounds, so that is not ideal.
Definitely not at this point of the game. Even if you feel confident on your CT side, are you confident enough to come back from a 13-6 deficit? Especially considering this is a round you basically need to win and it's not a perfect buy. There are a lot of things working against Hard Legion right now, is basically what I'm trying to say. But we'll see if they can overcome the difficulties in this first round. where they've got the buy in their hands. A couple of MP9s in the mix, and some nades deployed on Banana. It's a 3-man B stack to start things off for Hard Legion, and these nades are pretty well placed. Damage done, and Kinky is just taking the fight to his opponents. Nickelback just about surviving on a slither of health there, but Hard Legion get away with the early trades in their favor.
Yeah, really well as well in their favor with the damage that was done towards Nickelback. He was able to get that one trade, but barely survives in order to do so. They do, with I guess eventual time, manage to advance forward and get this banana control for themselves, which should be known by Hard Legion. But for now, they are just going to boost one player up in towards the CT spawn and also have one in that area as well. So, I mean, a smoke can go down at this point and potentially hold them off for a while. It'd only really be the player up on the boost who can maybe find one, which does work out for Sviat. That MP9 play a little bit awkward. Eventually does end up going down. But did deal out a bit of damage to World Edit as well. And as we had said, Nickelback already being taken down quite low. This 2-on-2 retake is still a decent enough spot for Hard Legion. But without the kit, they don't have a lot of time to work.
Smoke down into CT. Means that Hard Legion's retake is a bit more difficult. Rage is lining up some nades of his own, but the time is ticking. Another Molotov slows them down even further. This bomb... Oh no, there's another molly as well. There's just no way. Hard Legion have realized the utility is just going to lock them out of the bomb site. I mean, I think World Edit might die on the site here. He might go down with the bomb, but that's okay. They win the round, that's the main thing. And Prosto now with a 14-6 lead are only 2 rounds away from 2-0ing this series.
Yeah, fantastic performance from them so far here on the T side, taking 4 rounds in a row after taking, of course, the force buy for themselves there with the AKs after dropping the pistol. We said that was a much-needed round for Hard Legion that they did pick up, but unfortunately, whenever you say they need the pistol, obviously you mean they need the rounds off the back of it as well, and they weren't able to get that done. So it seems like that was kind of the end of the game at that point, especially now as this first gun round was lost. The save gives them a relatively decent buy. I mean, the nades are a lot better than they were in the previous round, but a couple weaker weapons as well still in play. And this time not really challenging over towards Banana, so Prosto are going to get themselves that control with relative ease. I mean, no one contesting at all, and Yekindar has even creeped out mid there past the smoke just before it went down and managed to catch himself a kill. Surprisingly, Waylander still peeks in towards B.
Yeah, could have just sat back and took the man advantage, but he wanted to push it even further. And Nickelback dodges away from the flashbang, which is good because Yekindar, I think, was blind close. So Nickelback keeps his teammates safe. And now Krad with an MP9 has to solo hold the B-bomb site. The Molotov hasn't spread, so he could get away with something, but Yekindar is privy to the fact that he could be in that position. And now with Hard Legion both being stuck behind this CT smoke, their chances are pretty much gone in this round. They might just have to concede the 15th over to Prosto. And it just looks like Prosto are going to run away with it at this point. Nade into CT. The fallback is coming through. And Demasic has even got the flank locked down. So they might not even be allowed to save.
Oh, yeah. He's in a great spot to cut off this rotation back in. So, yeah, no save being allowed. Kinky and Forrester gone 15-6. Hard Legion going to be scraping together a bye for what potentially is the final round here of this series. As I said, looking like we might actually have Prosto coming out on top of the map choice of Hard Legion more convincingly than they were able to on their own map pick of Nuke, which I guess isn't too surprising when we said, of course, Nuke was a strange pick by them. And Inferno, on the other hand, despite being chosen by Hard Legion, is still a really good map for Prosto. I did say I expected this one, though, to be competitive, and so far it hasn't really been the case. I mean, even in the beginning, we only kind of seen like a little stretch of rounds towards the end of that T side from Hard Legion. Other than that, it's been all Prosto controlling the game. Rage is doing what he can. Not only did he actually get himself a kill, also tagging down Yekindar there with the final shot through the corner of the wall. Krad's going to towards B. That's dangerous. I think he had a teammate getting the flash ready. Indeed he did, but just not expecting Waylander to already be so close. And with the flash going over now, they've locked that final player out of the B-bomb site. Yeah, he probably can't really peek out with just an MP9. They won't know Waylander's in the spawn either. He has a chance to cut off that rotation. Isn't spotted by Rage. Pops out looking for more. But fortunately, for the sake of Hard Legion, Kinky will finally bomb that threat that was pushed in. But as I said, the bomb site, at least for the moment, being taken over by just one player. This has managed to pull 2 players over towards B, as the rest of them move on towards Forrester, who's currently on a glass cannon M4. He has no Kevlar. Oh, Sviat's pushing up, though. Yeah, well, that's true. No, okay, got the kill. I jinxed it. Forrester, though, without the Kevlar, still getting one on the M4, trying to drop into the pit, where he could maybe stay alive and just waste time, but sadly, he does go down. And again, it's going to be run back down mid over towards B.
Oh my god. They're just playing with the CTs at this point. Kinky's just like, where's the fights? Where's the bomb? Just give me a fight. And, oh, I thought Well Dead it was going to close it out. Misses the shot.
All the foreplay for Kinky before the bomb goes down.
Exactly. Maybe this is what he's into. The shot through the smoke is a nice way to start it off. And now Well Dead, it's got the AWP in the 1v1. So Kinky's actually got a chance here, even though he's been toyed with the entire round. He's going to sit in this smoke. Wild Edit is not watching for it. He's sitting behind triple box. Kinky should be aware that's a possibility, but the timing is everything, and he gets the shot. Wild Edit misses his mark, and Kinky somehow ends up winning this round. A bit of luck, perhaps, to get the round win, but the spam was well placed, and Hard Legion are still alive by the skin of their teeth.
Somehow. Yeah, no, that was crazy. They ran the bomb back like 2 or 3 times right there, just because of the opportunities arising and realizing that it was the best decision. In the end, it doesn't work out for them. Kinky, as you said, able to come out on top of the clutch with a little bit of fortune there, getting the timing on the spam correct. I think he may have heard the steps, though, of the player running across. Either way, though, normally pretty hard to hit that shot. Gets that one, delays further even to stop them really from being able to get that bomb plant in place, and gives himself a good one-on-one then once it finally is put down. But they need 8 more rounds just to take this into an overtime, and even if they do, of course, get the overtime and get the victory here on Inferno, there's still map 3 to worry about. So this is still going to be quite a long road ahead of them, and only living with 1 player leaves them on a severely impacted buy. And on the other hand, Prosto, they built up so much money that they are not struggling.
Good to go in round 23. Lots of nades being exchanged on Banana. Some mollies from the T side, some mollies from the CT side. A nade straight onto Nickelback's face. He's down to 25 health from the early damage. He is at least alive. And Hard Legion playing close on Banana here. This is something that Prosto must be aware is a possibility, but the flashbang is on point. Oh, no kills off the back of it. Nickelback lands the headshot instead. And Hard Legion will be a bit disappointed that they couldn't come away with a kill there. Sviat's looking for more as well in the midst of the smoke. He might just have to fall back. He decides it is going to be a safer decision to play safe. But with 50 seconds and the man advantage, Prosto have every chance of closing this map and series out.
Yeah, this could be it. As you said, that early damage at least does help them out with a small... helped him out a small bit here with a chance of pulling it back. Nickelback being low, but he's got the offer now. Yakin there also slightly tagged up, which certainly helps out there for Kinky. He spams in through the smoke, nearly followed up with a bullet onto Nickelback as well, but that's not needed in the end. The Rage goes ahead with the op and finishes him off, and here we go. A good recovery so far in the round from Hard Legion. The Emasic though pops out of the apps apparently eventually, and did have Rage trapped down on the bomb site for a moment, but kind of just popping up and down, firing off op shots, eventually connects. And 7 more to go. We're getting there eventually. Nickelback still has quite a bit of money, so I imagine he will drop weapons over and they won't struggle to buy in this one. But if we see Hard Legion get this round, then likely they find 10 off the back of it. At that point, the money would certainly begin to look a little bit lower across the board. Even then, if they got the bomb plant, maybe they could scrape one out because they're getting 2,400 in the next round. So it's going to be a tough one for Hard Legion. They have so many rounds to go before they really start making this a reality. But there we go. Rage picks up the opening. Another good start into the round.
Ooh, nade into CT. Double nade onto Crad. Again, these nades on Banana being exchanged early. This time, though, Prosto have come away worse for wear, with World Edit being dealt with early in this round. And oh, Nickelback just gets the shot straight through coffins. Crad didn't even get to see anything. He was trying to line up a nade, and now Prosto are thinking about pushing this B bomb site. Sviat in the back lines lands a shot. He is now known in this position, but Yakindar doesn't want to commit alone without the bomb behind him, so he's waiting for the rotation from his teammate. Unfortunately, that's allowing Hard Legion time to rotate themselves, but the Molotov into triple box is good. Sviat forced to reposition. Smoke goes down into CT, and Yakindar will lead the charge. Nade in. Good kill from Yakindar. They knew exactly where he was, and oh, Kinky gets one kill while moving through the smoke, but Yakindar looking to close it out in the clutch, and he gets the headshot. Great round from Yakindar to close it out. He was fantastic throughout this series.